what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' This D. Watch react to this vid. This is what's something unbelievably comforting that someone said to you. Oh, this might be a sweet video, and it might comfort some of y'all out there. So let's see what they have to say. Let's watch.
Honest, what's something that someone said to you that was so unbelievably comforting?
My father passed away at the end of 2011, and it was the hardest thing I've ever gone through. One of the only things that has given me comfort since his death has been the words of this Spanish philosopher that I'm going to share with you now. So they've proven that babies can communicate to each other in the womb. I want you to imagine one baby speaking to the other. The first baby says, "Do you believe in mom?" The second baby says, "I don't know, what is mom?" And the first baby says, "Mom is in you, it's in me, it's what created us, it created our world." And the second baby says, "I don't know, I can't see this mom, I'm not so sure." Then the first baby says to the second, "Do you believe in life after birth?" Because to a baby in the womb, birth probably seems a lot like death. You're being pulled from the place that you've always known as home. It's painful and scary, and you can never go back. But little do they know what awaits.
Be honest, what's something that someone said to you that was so unbelievably comforting?
That just because you are having doubts in your relationship is not an automatic sign that you need to leave that relationship.
Nice!
If you are in a happy, healthy relationship with somebody that treats you well and who you can envision a future with, maybe, just maybe, those doubts are fears instead. Fears of abandonment, fears of failure, fears of divorce, fears that love is not safe, fear that love doesn't work out, fear that you're not actually worthy of this happy, healthy relationship. Those fears can be worked on.
I don't want to fuck with nobody with those fears,
will likely show up in another happy, healthy relationship.
Because them niggas is toxic.
What's something that someone said to you that was so unbelievably comforting?
Sometimes in my relationships, I really struggle to have to be on all the time. Like, always be funny, always be energetic, because that's where I found a lot of connection with people. And if I'm not that, I'm afraid they don't really want me around anymore. So a few winters ago, I'm working in retail, and I'm so peppy all the time, and people love that. But there's one day I feel really, really tired and really low, and I just don't have it that day. Some managers and some other coworkers said, "Hey, where's the energy? Where's the pep in your stuff? We love that." So I'm feeling a little bit down, like,
nigga, I know, clown, I'm performing for y'all.
So a different manager comes to me and she said, "Hey, it's time to go on your break." And I say, "Okay, I promise I'll be more energetic when I get back."
Wow.
And she says to me, "Reed, you don't have to be on all the time. You're just as valuable when you're not." And that was just in passing, and she doesn't even know that it was a big deal. But to me, it really, really clicked. It helped me value myself as a whole person. Aww. So thank you to that manager.
Be honest, what's something that someone said to you that was so unbelievably
Imagine
comforting?
having
A few months after my brother died, my boss, who had been a mentor of mine since I was a kid, came to my office out of nowhere and just sat down and said, "Roxanne, I just feel like I need to tell you that sometimes grief needs to fuck." And then she told me that for, a year or two after her daughter died, that's all she could do was screw and masturbate. She completely normalized the need to just feel some pleasure in the midst of just devastating grief. Needing to fuck or dance or play cards or go shopping does not mean you hurt any less. It's a valid coping strategy. These wild women saved my life.
What's something that someone said to you that was so unbelievably comforting?
One time I was telling my high school English teacher how I'm feeling so behind in life compared to all my friends and peers. And she said to me, "I never thought you were the kind of person who would care about the rat race. So if you're still the kind of person who doesn't care about being part of the rat race, then why must you feel bad about being left behind?" That shifted something in me. I still keep reminding myself that.
What's something that someone said to you that was so unbelievably comforting?
So my therapist told me that when you're in the middle between no longer being who you were, but not knowing who you are, that's when you know that you're healing the most.
Be honest, what's something that someone said to you that was so unbelievably comforting?
So I have OCD, which means that I can't trust a lot of the thoughts that are in my head and a lot of the emotions that come with those thoughts. And I used to be someone who believed only in my intuition and trusting my gut. But when I was diagnosed with OCD, I saw how many times my intuition, or what I perceived as such, was wrong, and hurt me.
I feel like everyone should take that advice though, honestly. Don't believe the thoughts you have about yourself and your situation. They're so limited and wrong most of the time, so don't think you know best. In that, oh, if I'm feeling this way, it must be no.
And so my therapist taught me about value-based thinking, which is the idea that instead of trusting your gut, you can always trust your deepest values. And that's the new thing that guides me through everything I do in life. I can always trust my values.
Be honest. What's something that someone said to you that was so...
Why he saying be honest first?
For me, my buddy once said, just because you hold everything so well, doesn't mean the weight's not heavy.
That's a
Be honest.
fact.
What's something that someone said to you that was
Why you
so
sipping on your
unbelievably
Dunkin' Donuts?
So my
I
last
feel you,
therapist was
brother.
really great, and after my first session with her, I spent 60 minutes just talking about whatever I needed to talk about, and we got to the end, and she just looked at me and said, "You are really hard on yourself." And I don't think she meant that as comforting to me, but I was like, damn, I am really hard on myself, and that must be true if you can figure that out after talking to me for only 60 fucking minutes. So whenever now I am in a tizzy about getting things perfect or having things be right all the time, or if I'm not being productive enough, I just say to myself, wow, you are being really hard on yourself.
honest. What's something that someone said to you that was so unbelievably comforting?
So 10 years ago, I went through my first breakup. I was 19, I was devastated. I thought that my world just ended, and I was so depressed.
That just reminded me of that weird ass video I reacted to when they said, oh, the breakup left D devastated. Like, nigga.
For so long, and I remember my mom told me, Annie, the pain is temporary. And after that, I just shift my perspective and started to take things one day at a time, reminding myself that eventually everything will be all right.
Yes.
And the pain started to fade away. So if that's you, if you are going through a hard breakup right now, I see you, I love you, I know how hard it is, but I promise the pain is temporary. I love you.
What's an acting performance that was so good?
Thank you. It feels nice to be loved. That was a fucking fact, though. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Literally, anything you're going through, it's going to pass. It's going to come and go, and you ain't even going to be worried about it in the future. So try your best. I know it's easier said than done, but try your best to not let it get to you so much and shake you to the core, because it's going to pass. Literally, all of the hard times you've had in your life, you've gotten past them. And chances are you're not even thinking about them anymore. So just keep that in mind when you feel like you're really going through it, or you're about to have a breakdown, or you feel like, oh my God, this is so hard. Just know you're going to get through that shit every single time. Every time. This is especially the case with relationships. Child, you're going to get over these people and not give a fuck what they're doing. Like, it is so freeing. Well, I can't speak for everybody, because I have heard some stories and I've come across some things where, you know, niggas be holding on. But that's them in their head. I don't know. Anyway, most people move on in a healthy manner, and they don't care what their exes are doing at all once they move on. So even if you're going through the worst breakup ever, just know eventually you're going to get over that shit and it's going to be fine. I know in the moment you don't feel like that. Your heart literally hurts and it sucks so bad. But you're going to get past it. Fuck them. Go party, drink, have a good time. You'll get over them. Trust me. Anyway, this is a good video. They gave some really comforting advice for sure, or advice they were giving. I agree with a lot of it. I feel like I was going to say something else, but I forgot. My bad. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.